Right on. All right. Well, let me know when we go live. Live now. What's going on, everybody? Arthur Solomon here with the Solomon Hustles podcast, and today we've got a very special guest, one of my good friends. He's an entrepreneur, investor, philanthropist, you name it. He's done it at a very young age. I think 33 years old, right?
35, but I'll take it, man. I'll take
33.
it.
Well, you look younger than that. So, well,
Well, man, I'm honored to be here, Arthur. So, look, man, the the name is fitting for the podcast. Nobody hustles like this guy, so I'm honored to be a part of it. And if we can give the audience a few nuggets to take away, that's a win for everybody.
right, right on, right on. Well, I wanted to have you on today because you're one of the most respectable people that I know. You're a hustler. You started, obviously you went to Wittenberg, number one, so you're a Wittenberg Tiger, and you live here locally. And I read an article last year, and it blew my mind. It was like, man, I want to do what this guy's doing. You were number 10 in the city of Columbus for donations. You donated more. You were like up there with Kroger's and those kind of guys. Unbelievable stuff. Maybe you could just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and what you've done, and what your goals are, and just kind of see how we can add some value to our viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first and foremost, thank you for the kind words. Um, my name's Kyle Barger. I'm 35. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio. I'm the father to a beautiful little girl named Charlie, and I like to, I guess, learn new things. So I went to Wittenberg University. I studied business management and psychology, and upon graduation, I worked for a company in the steel, metal, and scrap recycling industry, and I worked for those guys for 10 years. And along that process, I learned a lot about what it takes to make it in the, I guess, the real world after college. But for me, I started to realize that I had a lot of tendencies that make me more inclined to want to work for myself and be an entrepreneur. I was constantly looking to do more, to take on more things. And when you work for somebody else, a lot of times you're in a box and you're a bit limited by what you can do and how you can evolve and move up. So I got really big into fitness. I played rugby overseas in a lot of different countries as an athlete. And as I started to get older, I couldn't compete at the level I wanted to, but I wanted to help younger athletes and younger people take their game to the next level in a smarter way and kind of learn from my trial and error. So I opened up a gym in St. Louis, and that was my first dip into the entrepreneurial pool. And we became the number one rated fitness facility in the St. Louis metro very quick. But ultimately that business was my MBA in entrepreneurship. I have all these accolades of top rated fitness facility, all the great customer service. I still talk to all my members, but I made like 50 cents an hour. I didn't value my time. I didn't know how to have capex in there and expenditures that would be upcoming or unexpected things. So in a sense, that business was a bit of a failure on paper, but it was a learning experience for me. And when my father had some health issues, I moved back to Columbus, and that's where things really started to shake up in my life and go a few different directions.
That's incredible. What's just curious? I know you mentioned it to me last week, but you've traveled all over the world. What's your favorite place that you've been to?
New Zealand, hands down.
Yeah,
So shout out to any of my buddies who are listening from New Zealand. I miss those guys so much. The culture there is how it should be everywhere. It is we live to live, whereas in the U.S. it's all about we live to work. And I respect the hustle. I respect the work ethic here in the United States. But the people of New Zealand are beautiful, man. It's all about wine festivals, music festivals. You still get your work done, but you do it in a sense of, looking out for the environment, looking out for your neighbors. It's just a very peaceful, loving community. And gosh, I wish we could take a slice of that back to the good old USA.
that's incredible. Can you just walk us through your journey as an entrepreneur? Because you're relatively new in this entrepreneurial journey, as far as I know, like just a couple of years, right? You started the Champion Trading Group. Maybe can you
Yeah,
talk a little bit about that and how that journey has been for you? And
for sure. So when I owned that gym, I was still working a full-time job. I was married at the time. My wife was pregnant and my dad's health was failing. So I was at an ultimate crossroads in my life, and I quit a job that I worked at for 10 years. And I was ultimately moving up at a rapid rate inside this company. I had a gym. I was married. I had a house. I had all these wonderful things going on. And I quit my job. I sold my house. I moved my pregnant wife and our family back to Columbus. I sold the gym, and I literally started over. And at that crossroads in my life, I stopped and I said, I can either just go get another job, I can go start another gym, I can do all these things, or how about I just sit and get very intentional with my next steps? And I mapped out 4 things that I needed to ultimately just find happiness and be satisfied at the next stage of my career. I needed job flexibility or schedule flexibility. I wanted to be able to coach T-ball. I wanted to be able to never miss a doctor's appointment, go to the gym. I needed financial freedom. I needed to make enough money that my family would at least be able to live modestly. I didn't need to make an exorbitant amount of money, but I also wanted to be able to take vacations and drive a decent car and have a decent house and those things. I needed to make an impact in the world around me, and that's where we'll get into Makeaday. And I needed to have fulfilling work. And this is one of the most important things for anybody out there. If you're listening and you're not satisfied with your job, it doesn't matter how much money you make. You're never going to be satisfied with that job. If you're in a relationship that's not making you happy, you have to work at it, or you're in the wrong relationship. So to me, I had to be fulfilled in what I did. So once I sat down and I narrowed down that those were the 4 most important things for me to be fulfilled and happy, I then reverse engineered it. I started Champion Trading Group, which was what I was doing for another company for a long time. I found a way to do that business without requiring $100 million to start up for inventory. Today, we're in our 4th year. That company has managed over $1 billion in steel being traded, and we have average revenues outside of that in the brokerage over $10 million a year. So I would have never expected to do that in my wildest dreams.
Wow.
And Champion Trading Group gave me schedule freedom. It gave me financial freedom, and it gave me fulfilling work. But what it didn't give me was making a lasting impact around me. And that's where my cousins and I started the Makeaday Foundation. And this initially started as a 1 day a month service day where we would go out and do some good in our community. And it's now a full 501c3 with full-time paid staff. And we just got done wrapping up a feeding campaign called Doing Better Together. And you can look that up at doingbettertogether.org, where we had superstars like Coach Urban Meyer, national championship winner for the Buckeyes and the Florida Gators, Braxton Miller, JT Barrett, Cardale Jones, DSW, Raising Cane's, some really big sponsors behind us. But we fed 20,777 people during COVID.
Wow.
So, you know, in a situation where most people are looking, hey, my business is failing, I don't know if I'm going to make my paycheck, can I pay my rent? It was a really nice opportunity for us to use some of the resources we gathered to give bigger and to step up when people needed us the most. And that checks that box in a big way of leaving a lasting impact. I want to, when I get hit by a bus or I'm laying on my deathbed, somebody can say, that guy helped influence my life in a positive way, or something my kids or grandkids can be really proud of. Making money doesn't do anything unless you use it for good, right? You can make all the money you want, but it's not going to make you happy.
Absolutely.
But to me, it was important to make an impact with it.
Well, when is the next event, and how can people get involved, and what can we do to help support that?
Well, I appreciate you asking that. So our website is makeaday.fun. You can go there and check out what we're doing. Or on Instagram and Facebook, it's at Makeaday HQ, Makeaday HQ, and follow what we're doing there. But there's a lot of great ways where you can give. You can donate your money, and we'll put that to use. You can donate your time. And what we typically do is we serve the homeless community in Columbus and Central Ohio. We have pop-up events, and our next one is Monday, July 20th. It's at Standard Hall in Columbus, Ohio, and it's going to be from 11 until 1. And what a pop-up event for us looks like is we get all of our homeless friends in the downtown Central Ohio area. We will ship them to this event. We'll have them come to this event. They have public transportation to get them to this event. And we have a high-end salon. We give free haircuts, shampoos, and shaves to everybody. It's free. We have a clothing boutique. We have some of the best stylists and small boutique business owners that show up, and they help these men and women find a new outfit. It's kind of like Dress for Success in a sense, but we do this for everyone. We also bring in a gourmet food truck. Street Time food truck comes in and feeds everybody. From there, we get pizza donated. We get ice cream. We get anything else we can add to that mix from other Central Ohio small business owners to just make somebody's day. And it's all free. There's no strings attached. If you're having a bad day, I don't care if you show up in a new Ferrari. If you just need somebody to talk to or somebody to love on you, we got you. If you're homeless and you need a haircut, a new set of clothes, you look like you could walk into any job interview, and now you're not being judged on your appearance. The only thing that's going to hold you back is that skill set, or maybe having an ID, which will help people get IDs, will help people get warrants expunged if they have Mickey Mouse warrants that keep them from getting, government services. So to me, that's probably the thing I'm the most proud of. It makes me no money. If anything, it takes resources, but man, that's what I love hanging my hat on at the end of the day.
That's truly incredible work that you're doing, Kyle, and I would definitely appreciate you coming on and sharing that with our viewers. And if you want to get involved, you want to learn more, Makeaday.fun, and check them out on the Instagram, Makeaday HQ. Kyle, really appreciate you coming on today, and maybe look forward to having you again in the future.
Yeah, thanks, Arthur. And but before we wrap things up, I also want to give a reverse testament to Arthur Solomon here. So one of the other things I do is I'm in the real estate business, and that's something I've been dipping my toe in the last 2 years and learning a lot about. When it comes to being successful at anything, it's all about the people you surround yourself with and essentially your team. And Arthur Solomon is a realtor that I have never seen anyone match his hustle. And, this is a funny story that I tell to a lot of people of Arthur, but when we go look at houses, Arthur doesn't walk to the house. He runs up to the door. He'll knock on doors of houses that aren't even for sale and say, "Hey, are you interested in selling your house?" So to me, if you're in that area and you have a chance to work with Arthur, you are blessed to do so. I can't wait till he moves to Columbus so I can work with him on a more regular basis. But the lesson there is anything you're going to do in life, if you're going to be successful, find people like Arthur, find people that you can trust, that you love working with, that are a pleasure to be around, but are willing to work like Arthur does. And it's going to be hard not to be successful. So thank you for what you're doing for me and all your other clients.
Wow, brother, that means so much. I really appreciate that testimony. That was not scripted. That was not in here at all. So I really appreciate that. So thank you
Awesome.
for tuning in. And Kyle, thank you again for your time. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Solomon Hustles Podcast.
I love it. I'll see you, man.
See you, brother.